where could we get the webcams?
The what?
Because are the webcams like mandatory?
Yeah, you have to have that because we have to see that it's you taking the test and that you're not using things you're not supposed to.
Okay, are we allowed to use our calculator on our phones, or do I have to go get a calculator?
Cannot
Like
use
just
your
a basic.
You
I
have
have
to
to
have,
go get like a basic. I have to
Yeah.
get a basic calculator, right?
Yeah, we don't allow phones on tests. I think that's pretty standard.
Okay.
There's just a lot of really neat apps out there that people can make. try to avoid that scenario altogether.
Okay, are we allowed to look at our notes? That's a no
No.
as well, right?
No, it's a test. The only thing that you should have is like a calculator,
Piece of paper and.
pencil, and paper. Pretty much, yep.
Okay, so where could I get the webcam at? Like Best Buy, right?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any electronics store, I would imagine, probably sells them.
And it has to be
We got mine at
compatible
Best
with my
Buy.
computer.
Has
yeah,
to-
that's
I don't even know.
that's something that
I think
electronics,
mine is set up with Chrome, so I don't know which webcam to get.
you gotta ask the tech store that you go to. We wouldn't know which cameras go with which devices because everyone has so many.
Okay. And if I'm not able to set it up, I have to drive all the way to campus,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, that's why we mentioned it the first day, and we also had it in the syllabus like ahead of time before class started in case you needed some time, because it does take a little bit of time to get your stuff together for tests.
There've been a few
Okay,
people.
so if it doesn't end up working, I don't think I have that option to drive all the way over there because I'm like 30 minutes away, and my previous class ends like right before yours starts.
Well, let's hope you can get the webcam set up then. But we do want to start class. If you want to talk about this more, we can talk about it in office hours or email or anything like that. But we do want to get started with class. We're a few minutes in here. I'm still working on attendance. Maybe I should just call people's names. It might be faster than me looking. Anthony, you here? Nope. Brian, I saw Brian. Jonathan, Kathleen.
Here.
Jonathan, there's Kathleen. Where's Jonathan? No, Jonathan? Okay. And then we have Mara and Ashley. Either of you here? Mara and Ashley? Nope. Alondra? I thought I saw Alondra. There's Alondra. Okay. Michael, L, and Fidel? No? Michael, L? Fidel? I'm not getting a lot of responses. I guess a lot of people aren't here today.
I'm here.
Oh, there's Michael saying he's here. Your camera mic's
No,
not
I'm
working.
Fidel.
Oh, Fidel's here. There you are. I didn't see you. Sorry. Okay, who else did I miss? Diana, Leslie, are you here? I see
Yes.
Diana waving and Leslie saying something. Awesome. And then Carson.
I'm here.
Okay, awesome. And then Sage, Terry, and Jerry. Those are the last ones. Sage.
I'm here.
Jerry's here.
Terry, Jage, okay. And then who else did I say? Terry. Terry. Okay. All right. So just to make sure, no Anthony, no Jonathan, no Mara, no Ashley, and no Terry.
I'm here, okay?
Oh, who was it? Oh, I got you. I got you. If I didn't say that you're not here, then that means I got you.
Okay.
I just joined.
Who was that?
Anthony?
Anthony. Okay, gotcha.
Me and
Cool.
Jonathan's coming in.
Awesome. All right. So let's do the review.
I was gonna make an announcement. Like a few people have been saying that they need a password for the test or for the practice test, and you shouldn't need a password. If you open up Respondus, it is a browser, so like don't use like Chrome or whatever the heck else browser you have. Like Respondus is the browser. You're going to open up Respondus and you're going to type in the austincc.edu, whatever the website is, and navigate to Blackboard like you normally do through that browser. And it shouldn't require a password. Famous last words, but it shouldn't, right? If it does, or if you're having problems, we will be in the classroom tomorrow, right? We try to put catch safes into everything.
All right. You're taking lead today, right?
Yeah, I got it. All right,
A lot of
so
your things have been graded, just so you know, so just keep checking. Things get graded very quickly.
we have a review today. I guess I can bring it up so we can all look at it. Oh, it doesn't want to do that. Oh, I can bring it up on here. Here's a review, and there are also solutions for it. So hopefully, if I did everything right and cut and pasted those problems correctly, they should match up. But this is our review. So I want to work through some of them. We're probably most likely not gonna get through every single last one of these problems. This is a review. This isn't, I don't know if I should say this or not, but it's not graded. But if you want to be prepared for the test and you want to get a good grade on the test, then you probably want to do the review. So let's go through, I think like just doing the odds, 1, 3, 5, 7. Those gives us four problems to start out with. So I think if we do like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, I think that's what sounds good. Let's do that. Breakout rooms, where's that popping up now? I got too many screens.
And we're just doing this on the paper that was in the homework, correct?
Yeah, so it should be under the like homework papers, and that thing, it should say something like test review.
Okay.
And so it is like under the homework papers, but it's not homework.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like we
It's-
had to do something else.
Yeah, you don't have to submit this or anything like that. This is purely just for review, but like I said, we're going to take a test tomorrow, so you definitely do want to do this. You want to be sure you can do every single problem in this. Where are we at? 3, 4, let's do 6 groups probably.
Which numbers did you say we're doing?
I think just like hitting the odds might be pretty good here. Like 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, I'm gonna open up rooms. Stop sharing. Okay, where did everyone go?
You're still recording?
Let's start that up. And so number one would be conditional. Number, what is this, 3?
Yes, number 3.
So what did y'all do here? Who got this? I gotta call rooms out. Who's in room 1? Jerry, Claudia, Jay, Michael, Taylor.
Okay, we have half x. Okay, we have half x minus 5/2 equals minus 2x. I just moved the 2x to the one side for the x's, and I moved the other side, the minus 5 to the other sides. It comes half x plus 2x equals 5/2.
Ooh, I think you did like 2 steps at once, didn't you? So I think what I'm hearing,
Mhm.
in order to get the 2x to the other side, you added 2x.
Yes,
And then I think you did 2 steps at once.
right.
I think you also added the 5/2 over, right?
Yeah.
So I think what I'm gonna do, where's this clear? Where's my clear button? I think I'm gonna do 1 step at a time, just to
Okay.
work out a little bit. But if we add 2x, I get 1/3 x
Mhm.
plus 2x is equal to, yeah, I gotta put that 0 over here. Don't forget your 0. That is 0. Wait, oh, ooh.
Why is, yeah,
Yeah, y'all didn't call me out on that one. This should be also what, minus, sorry, 5/2 on that side is still there. That did not disappear. Sorry. Get out of here. Notice. Okay.
you're not supposed to move the 5/2 to the other side?
Oh, okay. So the next step is to what? Add the 5/2 over to the other side.
Oh,
Y'all really like fractions, don't you? Y'all are like, I did this different, sir. I would have got rid of those fractions maybe first thing, but there are multiple ways to do the same thing. Okay. So we have this. I'm running out of room, so I think I'm going to come back. So we add the 2x. The next step was we add the 5/2 over to the other side. So I think you're going in a good direction.
Yes, and then it comes x plus 4x/2 equals 5/2.
This is 1/3, so this is a 3 on the bottom here. So I think you keep saying a half, but you got to be careful because that's a 3. So if we have 3 and 2, I think you're heading in the right direction.
Sorry for, yeah, I did. Okay.
What
Yeah,
would- what do we have?
I
What do we have
said
to multiply by? 6. Yeah, I think you
that's
said.
6.
I think you're multiplying by 2. What we want to do is multiply by 6. So we're multiplying that side. We're multiplying this side.
Yeah. I see it as a 2. Sorry, it's now when we did up it's 6.
If I have to do 6/1, you can write 6/1 if that helps. 6 times 1/3 x. What am I getting there?
Minus 30x. 24. Okay. How do I do it?
If I take 1/3 of 6, what is that?
If it's 6 30.
It's like dividing by 3, right? Doing 1/3.
Yes,
So if I divide 6 by 3, what is the number I'm going to get?
2. It comes the other side.
Anybody have this? What am I getting? 2. This should give me a 2x. And 6 times 2 is going to give me what?
3. 6 times 2, 12.
Yeah, that's going to give me 12x.
12x.
And this is equal to 6 over 1 times 5 over 2. You might have to multiply and divide. You can do some cross simplification maybe.
I said it across.
What's this going to give me? I should check these solutions to make sure. I think I have both of them. 3, 2, conditional. Yep. We're almost there. What are y'all doing?
The answer he gave
15.
14.
It should be 15. If I multiply 6 and 5, I get 30. I divide 30 by 2. That's going to give me 15. I guess the other way you could do it is make this 1, make this divide by 2 would be 3. Cross simplify. Should be getting 15. Almost there. What's the next thing I'm doing here?
Yeah. But 15.
Combine the left side together.
And last thing, to get the solution that they have in the back, if you're checking.
Divide by 14 on both sides.
That's exactly it. We're dividing both sides by 14. We divide the left side by 14. We're going to get that x by itself just like we want. Divide the right side, we're going to get 15/14. Questions about this guy? Are we getting this, hopefully? I hope so. Okay.
Was that conditional?
That is also conditional. Yes, so I didn't say it. I should be saying it. Ed is conditional. It should be 15/4. 14. Wait. Was it 15/14? Is that what I just erased?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I go back? There you go. Yeah, I should be saying conditional on these things. Okay, and 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do 6 too. I'm going to throw 6 in there. I think it might be worth going over. Number 5 is minus 3x plus 4 equals minus 3x minus 4. Room 2 was what? Diana, Fernanda, Kayla, and Sage. What'd y'all do on this one?
Well, it's called null, right? The 0 with the line through it.
So what did you try to do? Like, what's the first thing you probably try to do?
So I added 3x.
Yep. And you add 3x. So I want to go through maybe the terminology because I think that might be tripping some people up.
And then 4 equals -4 is not a true statement.
That is not a true statement. What do we call things that are not true? If I want to make something not true,
No solution.
it's a C. It's right there on the paper too. It's not the one that's conditional. It's the other C word.
Oh, it's
Contradiction.
yeah,
That's it.
contradiction.
And so we call this statement a contradiction. Something that's not true is a contradiction, but that doesn't tell us what the solution set is. And I think you kind of hinted at it. You said
It's
that
called
nothing,
null, right?
no, nothing's gonna work. Yeah, no solution.
So on the test, do we have to put both no solution or null and the 0 with the dash? Or do any one of those work?
I want to see this probably, and I want to see one or the other of those.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Miss Wise is expecting.
Just do.
Do you have a
Excuse me, is it correct if just we write no solution? Or
Miss Wise? Do you have a preference for what they write on this one? When there's a contradiction.
I think she was saying the other day that she wanted to see the solution set because that's what she wrote on my homework. Because I put like contradiction and
No solution.
all that, and she still wanted a solution set.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would probably put all three things just to be safe. But this statement is a contradiction. And there's nothing that we can plug in it that's going to make it work, is what I'm interested in seeing. So what about, and I know I didn't assign this one. So this is number 6. I know I didn't tell you to do it. We'll do it right quick. 2 times x minus 3 equals 3 x minus 2. What's
can
it,
we just distribute the first side like 2x minus 6?
So if you see something like this, and I think you're already jumping at it, like the thing that really sticks out is that we have some distribution to do there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right there and right there. Like, ooh, I'm touching the top of my screen and it did not like that. 2x minus 6 is equal to 3x. This one you got to be careful because we have minus 2x.
Yeah, we distribute to the 2.
You got to make sure this guy is. He's got a minus on him, and he's got a. What was that? 2 times 1.
Yeah, minus 2x minus 2.
I'm doing number 6. Yeah, that's it. Usually after you do distribution, what's the next thing you look for?
The
Like
terms.
terms.
Combining like terms. Usually there's going to be some combining like terms. 2x minus 6 equals 3x. This is what? X minus 2?
Yeah.
Minus 2x. It comes 1x.
And move the variables.
Then we're going to move the variable.
Wait, why isn't that a negative? Wait a minute. I got something different.
You're talking about here.
Yeah. Wait, is it 2 or okay, 1x?
We are doing number 6. I didn't assign it, so I kind of threw it in.
Right, I realized that, but
Okay.
this, I thought it was 3x minus 2x equals 1x, right? Okay, but you just put x, okay. Just
Yeah.
a different way to write it.
You got to start those math hallucinations and start seeing things that aren't there. If I have an x, it's like understood. It's like a 0 power here. It's like a 1 coefficient out in front.
Right, okay.
So a lot of times I won't write the coefficient in front or something. If it's a 1, it kind of disappears. Okay, so someone said move the variables. So what are we doing? Are we moving the x or the 2x? I know what I would do. I want to know what y'all would do.
Move the X.
All right, I would move the x. And if we move the x, how do we move the x? What's the operation?
Subtract X.
Yeah, subtract it. X minus 6 equals what? Minus 2 is what I got on the side.
And then go ahead and move the 6.
And then move the 6.
I got like a little bit of room, maybe right here. X is equal to, what's it?
4.
That's it. And what kind of solution is this?
Identity.
Conditional.
That is a conditional statement. Yeah.
Do we can say identical?
It should be conditional, right?
Yes, but okay.
Is that what they say? 6? Yeah. Okay. Questions about this? The next one looks similar. It starts out very, very similar looking. Oh, where is it? I'm trying to find the page. Wrong page. There we go. 7 is 2. X minus 3 equals 5x minus 3, x plus 2. That's what I see. Make sure I copy it down right, because the one above it looks really similar. Don't like cross your eyes and look at the wrong one. Start writing down the wrong numbers. I see too many people lose good points for writing things down wrong. It's like, no, don't do that. All right, very similar. What's the first thing I'm going to do here?
Distribution.
Distribution. So I'm going to do that kind of quick. 2x
Distribution.
minus
6.
5x. This is a minus 3x. And what is the last thing I should put down?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. Minus 3 and a positive 2 are going to make this overall minus 6. After I do distribution, there's usually something that follows that. I can combine. I'm giving y'all too much.
Combine like terms.
Combine
Yeah.
like terms. Uh, 5 minus 3 is going to give me
2x.
how far should I go? Did y'all do anything after this? Did you try to do anything?
Add 6 to both sides and subtract 2x from both sides.
Yeah, if we add 6, we're going to get 2x equals 2x. If we subtract 2x from both sides, we're going to end up getting
No solution.
those Jeep headlights, right?
So it'd be contradiction, right?
That is a what?
Identity.
It's identity.
That's an identity. So this is going to be always true.
Okay.
I don't have enough room to write the whole word over there, but that says identity.
Because it's 0 equals 0. It's true statement.
If I'm being honest, if you would have saw it like right here, and you would have boxed that and told me that's an identity, if you would have stopped right there and boxed that and told me that was an identity, I would be okay with any of those. We want to acknowledge that like that statement is an identity. And if we get an identity statement, what does that tell us about what we could have plugged into that thing?
All real numbers.
All real numbers, just about anything and everything. So you might see like X is an element of the real numbers. Throwing in a few more symbols. Sometimes you just might see the real numbers. Might write it out. I don't have enough room. It's getting down near the end of my page. All real is what that says. And we haven't talked about them yet, but the only thing that we talk about other than reals are imaginaries, and they have eyes in them. So as long as you don't have an I in there, like that's almost in any and every number we know. Square root of 2, pi, everything that looks weird, irrational numbers, those should all work. You can plug them in, it would be true. 2 times pi minus 6 is going to be 2 times pi minus 6. Questions about this one? So knowing how to solve things, knowing these special cases where they're like contradictions in identities are things that we need to know for the test. Number 5 was a contradiction. Right? So I think we had number 1 was conditional, number 3 was conditional, 5 was contradiction, 6 was conditional, 7 is an identity.
What's the difference between number 5 and 7? Isn't 5 also no solution?
Okay. So number 5, I think we got like 4 is equal to like a minus 4. And this one, we get something like 0 equals 0. So let's break this down a little bit more. So if we get something that's not true, that's going to be a contradiction. I think I'm writing faster than it wants to process. If we get something that's true, that's an identity. And so a contradiction tells us whatever we plug in, nothing's going to work. So if we think about the solutions here, this one would be no solution or empty set. Something like this would be all real. So I think we got something like this was number 5, right? And this would be like what we got on number 7. So do you see the difference between the two problems now? I guess is the question.
Yeah.
All right, good. They are like special cases. They do look kind of similar, but knowing whether it's true or false is, I guess, is the distinguishing thing, right? All right, so does anybody have a section that they like really want to go over? We can go over it. I can pick numbers from there. If there's something that's tripping you up.
I had trouble with the math on number 4. I was just kind of like going in circles with it.
Okay. So I'm going to predict what you're going to say. Do you like fractions? Do you just love dealing with fractions?
No, but
no. Okay. So if we're looking at this, the first thing that I'm going to do is get rid of those fractions. So if I'm thinking about the denominators there, we have 3 and 5. What's my LCD? Or LCM?
Between 3 and 5 would be 15.
Exactly. So if I'd multiply everything by 15, I want to multiply this entire side. I want to multiply this entire side by 15. And if I want to put it over 1, maybe. If I look at this left side, I'm kind of lazy. So is there a way I can do cross simplification? Between 1 and 2x minus 3, I don't know what the heck's going on there yet. But between 5 and 15.
Yeah, you can simplify. Or
yeah.
Less.
I'm dividing by 5 here. I'm dividing by 5 here. So that might make this side a little bit easier if you cross simplify it. but I still have to distribute that thing. So I think that that's something that sometimes people mess up. They only like multiply the first number or something. I think we did this 3 times 2x. We did something really similar just like a second ago. This is distribution. This should give me what, 6x minus 9 on top? What's left on bottom?
Just a common denominator, a 1.
Yeah, just 1. I'm doing the same thing over here.
Do you have to keep that 1?
Where, what one? On the bottom, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I could even delete this, right? It's just, I was just putting it there just to be kind of nice so everyone could see it. I was gonna delete it in just 1 second, to be honest. But if you're over 1, it's not really over anything, right? You can just write it as itself. The other thing here is this thing. I have 15. I want to distribute 15 to everything, so I wrote it out twice. If I'm doing this side, I can do some cross simplifying. So if I divide 3 by 3, that's going to give me 1. If I divide this by 3, it's going to give me 5. Yep. And so what's happening on this side? 6x minus 9 is equal to
Oh, 5x minus 1.
5x minus, now careful, what is this number?
Oh, negative 1. Or is that a 1?
So
Oh,
is
okay.
We're multiplying that by what?
Is it 15?
15. Don't forget you're multiplying everything by that number. Oh man. This is like
Please, would you put the
2
number
quick
4,
steps.
right?
This is number 4. Yeah, someone asked about it. Number 4.
Okay.
I think, hoping because we're taking a test tomorrow. I think like this setup, it should be pretty easy from here, right? We've had a few that looked like this. Maybe I shouldn't say easy. Maybe I should say doable. That's probably a better word. But I think we're going to end up with minusing 5x and adding 9. Can I do it all in one step right quick? Nine minus 15 is what, minus 6? Does that seem right?
Negative 6.
Yeah. And what sort of statement is this? Is this conditional, contradiction?
Conditional?
Conditional.
Conditional.
Yeah. All right. Someone said, oh, we got number 11. We're doing number 11 in a second. All right. So I want to do 8, 9, and 11 next. And let's do 12 is also a good one. Let's do those 4. 8, 9, 11, and 12. I think are pretty good. Island told us said, yep. Oh, not direct message. Y'all stop direct messaging. I'm messing. I didn't say that. I don't mind y'all direct messaging me. It's just like when I don't look at it and then I send it out and I think I'm sending something to the class, it doesn't work. All right, y'all ready? Where you, oh, you came back in, so I gotta assign you somewhere, huh? Were you in room 3 or 5?
That is a great question that I do not have the answer to.
Doesn't matter. I'll send you 5.
You're still recording.
Oh, my recording's not. There you go. Start that recording. Questions about this one? This one, we're going to be doing a lot of things like this. This is leading up to stuff we're going to be doing quite a bit.
So when
Yeah, so why do you have the
2x
2/5 there? Oh, wait. Now that makes sense. So 2/5 becomes 2/5. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I figured it out on my own.
So when you subtracted the 2x on the other side, on the right side, why wouldn't it be 10 minus 2x as opposed to what's on the screen, negative 2x plus 10?
Okay, so you can do that. That's absolutely something you can write it in that order.
Okay.
So if instead,
Wait, if I did it in decimal form, do you think it would still be correct or no? Instead of the fraction. 2/5.
with this one, you might get by with it because it's an even decimal, but in general, we really prefer the fractions because if I have something like 1/3, if you look at the decimal of 1/3, it's 0.3 repeating. So 1/3 is a lot more accurate than saying 0.3 or something. You have to round it, right? And so if you're rounding, it's not as accurate. We really prefer stuff where you don't have to round. You can give me the exact.
Okay.
So like fractions are usually exact. 2/5, I think that's an exact decimal, right? You get like 0.4. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you might be able to get by with, but being honest, like when we start talking about slopes is what we're talking about, you're gonna want your slope in a fraction. It's gonna be easier to work with. So you could do this 10 minus 2x. You're still dividing by a -5. But they really want this x term first. So if you did it this way, you're going to have to swap these two numbers at some point so that we lead with this x term and our constant comes last. Because if we said something, let me delete it and like compare it. Okay, so if we had something like this, if you went that way, you're probably more likely to end up with y equals what? -2 plus 2 plus x, right? If you wrote it the other way. And what they wanted in is y equals mx plus b. So if you wrote it out this way.
When it's a requirement, teacher.
What is the what?
When it's the requirement to write it as this, what they gave us, like MA plus B.
Yeah, so this is the one that you want, right? Is what I'm saying. We want it in that format with this thing with the x leading and then the constant comes last. So if you did it the other way, like who was it? Say Michael that said it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would have to swap those two then, right? To get that x term to come first.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because they want it. This is what it tells me. It tells me put my thing with the x first and then put that constant next.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, and that's not a big deal. If you're getting most of that stuff, you'll get most points probably. We get partial credit. Any questions about this one? Should we move on to the next one? All right. Number 9. Area equals half the base height. And we're solving for this guy.
We need to solve for H.
Didn't we already do this exact one on a different like note sheet or something? Like,
Probably.
Yeah, it was on one of the lecture notes.
All right, so how do we solve for H?
Since it says to divide by 2 for base times height, you're gonna put 2 in front of the A because you're gonna multiply that by 2, and then it's gonna go over B.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, where did you get the 2 from?
I've
It's the reciprocal of dividing it by 2, so instead of dividing it, you multiply it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I also swap the sides, so that might be kind of confusing. I always like to solve the thing that I'm solving for. I always put it on the left. It's just a little personal bias is what it is.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm following you now.
All right, good deal. Credit card charges 15% annual interest. Anybody have questions about this one before I get it?
I do.
All right, what's up?
So it gives us the formula and everything. You can set it up fine. I equals 900 would be the principal. The rate is 0.15 because you change it from a percent to a decimal. But for time, what do we do? Because I couldn't remember if we did time like in months or in years. Because if it was in months, it'd be 1/12 because it's a 12th of a year. Does that make sense? Like I wasn't sure if we were doing it in months or time or months.
Let me see. I was asking about questions on the previous one. Now let me read this one. Okay, credit card charges 15% interest. What is the interest charge for 1 month on a balance of 900? Ah, this is tricky. So principal with an LE, I believe is principal. So the P is my principal. So knowing what these things are is what I should be asking. I think you said this was time, but you said what about this? This is time. And you're right. Time in years, right? R is my what is it? What does R stand for?
Annual, the Renum or something? I forgot.
R is rate. You're 15%.
Yeah, it's my interest rate.
No.
R stands for rate. Horribly drawn R. P is principal. I is the what? Interest amount.
Right, so amount.
So this is actually dollars amount, right? We should get dollars. This is the thing that should be a percent. This one's a percent, this one's the dollars. So knowing what these things mean might help you out a little bit. This one is a little tricky. So credit card, I go I equals PRT is my formula. So what is my I?
I use the 15%. Okay, well,
What is the 15%?
The rate.
That's the rate. So what is my I? Maybe it's a bit of a trick question.
Are we looking for?
It's
That's the thing we're looking for.
amount
That's my
of
variable.
interest charged.
What's my principal?
900.
Then I'm multiplying principal by my rate. So my rate is 15%. How do I write that?
0.15. Or 0.15.
And now I want to multiply this by time.
I did 12.
1 month is how much of a year?
112.
It's 1/12. That's right. That's the little tricky part.
Excuse me, teacher, in this case, we need to find the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so we should be set up to find a dollar amount of interest is what this is telling me, because I'm solving for my I. All right, so now are you going to do this on your fingers? Sorry. I crack myself up sometimes. How you doing this?
First, multiply 900 by 0.15, so you're getting part of it.
135. Man, I still got like what 112.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm definitely doing this on a calculator. So I was trying to tell y'all, or try to get y'all to tell me. I'm not doing this on my hands. And multiply these three things together, I should be getting 1125. It doesn't like my decimal because I'm too far on the bottom of the screen. And what am I talking about? There's one more thing I should really do for these sorts of problems.
Put a money sign in front of it because you're like the unit basically.
Yeah, come back, interpret it. Maybe even if you feel like you really want to get some points on your test, tell me that this is interest, right? You can say this is an interest. Trying to put it here. My penmanship is horrible in here, huh? Questions about this one? So knowing a little bit maybe about that formula. P is principal, R is my rate, T is my time in years. All right, next one. Alice gets a job selling boots and is given the option of wages plus commission or commission only. In the first option, she earns 33 in wages for each day of work plus 250 in each boot sold. Under the commission option, commission only option, she would earn no wages and 325 for every boot sold. How many pairs of boots would Alice have to sell in one day to make the two options equal? So this is pretty common. Like if I'm thinking about like renting moving trucks or something, right? They'll charge you a flat rate to rent the truck, and then they'll charge you like so many cents per mile that you move. This is something that comes up in life quite often if you have to make decisions about buying things. What'd y'all do? Maybe call in a group.
I think there it's like we need to write it as a prime fraction, like $3.31 plus X, because for each day is the X day.
What is your X?
It's the days.
So we're gonna set the day to 1 day.
Okay.
And so we're doing things daily. So I don't think we're varying the days.
Let's put X as the number of pairs.
Yeah, number of boots, right?
Yeah.
Pairs of boots.
Yeah, for this one.
We're not just gonna sell them single boots. We're gonna do pairs of boots, maybe. And so what might one formula look like? Or what is, if she earns 33 in wages for each day and plus 250 for each boot, what does that look like if I write it out in math?
33 plus 250X.
So that's one option. The other option says that she earns 325 per boots and she earns no money whatsoever in her daily wage. What does that look
So
like?
then I just put equals 325x.
I guess you could say maybe like 0 plus because she's not going to earn anything, but we don't really need to write 0 pluses. But just in case. Nothing down, and she's earning 325 per boot. And so what do we want to figure out about these two things?
When will they be?
How many pairs of boots need to be sold to make them equal?
To make them, ooh, what's that word? Equal, right? We want to know when her wage will be equal. So this is calculating her wage per day. This is calculating her wage per day. We want to know when these things would be equal. Ooh, bless you.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
You're all right. That's a natural body function right there. Okay. And so let me maybe write it on like a single line. If we look at this and we want to solve for x, it's always a good idea to define your variables before you start. I know it might seem overkill on these problems because they might be a little simpler and you might be able to do it without defining your variables, but it is a good practice. When we get to harder stuff, your variable is not just going to be like a single x. It's going to be x and something else and all this other stuff. It is a good idea to get in that habit. All right, so what am I doing now?
Subtract the 250 from both sides, 250x.
Okay. So I have 33 plus 250x equals 3.25x. And you're telling me I want to subtract 250x from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is that?
And then I get 33 equals 0.75x. And then I divide by 0.75.
Uh-huh. And so definitely you're going to want a calculator for these sorts of things. I'm not trying to count this out on my fingers when I'm doing a test. That is crazy.
And then I get x equals 44, which is the 44 pairs of boots to make it equal.
Mm-hmm. So you say x equals 44. You should really, when you get done doing all this math, you should really write out some sort of English. Maybe this one's a little more straightforward. Sometimes just telling someone a number isn't really answering their question. Like, how many boots do I need to sell? 44? That makes sense. But we are talking about boots. She needs to sell 44 boots. Questions? All right. So I know we got like 2 minutes left. We got like one more section to go over. So if y'all got to burn out at 140, I understand. But I want to go over like 3 more problems. I feel like that would get y'all nice and prepared. Yeah, stop sharing that screen to share. That's one of these. Is it? I think that's it. 16, 17. Let's do 19D. It's a little more hard. And I'm not going to do breakout groups. I think we're just going to work them. Are there any, oh, Miss Wise, did you want to tell them like about those points?
Yeah, I guess there was a few people that had questions about the points on their homework. So let me bring up the solution to kind of show you what was going on. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Sorry for the noise in the back. Can't do anything about it right now. All right, so there was some people that said that I guess they had no solution like over here, but then this area was blank. So if this area was blank, you didn't get your points because you didn't answer these two questions. Just because you wrote no solution over here doesn't mean you were answering these two blanks in these two questions. I think that was the question that I missed earlier.
Yeah, but either way, if you write the empty set or no solution, it's saying the same thing. So
Yeah, these are the
one or
same.
the other.
Yeah, that's why they're both here, and in the parentheses are like an or, right? You could have this or this, this or this, but you need to put that with solution set. You can't just like have it somewhere over here and leave this blank. Like you need to write it in the correct place so we know that you know what the solution set is. Does that make sense? Hopefully.
Yes.
Any questions on that?
I have a question. So on what's the solution set? Like, for instance, if the answer was like x equals 4, you would want us to put those little brackets and then 4 inside of it instead of just putting x equals 4 and then write a condition.
Yeah, because this represents a set. See the word set here? These little swirly bracket thingies represent set.
Yeah.
So that the reason we have this is if there's more than one answer, then you can write them all in the set with commas between them. So this is just what a set looks like.
Okay.
So that's why that's there. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on these? Okay, so all y'all's 2.2 was graded. So the answers are here. Go back through, look at the solutions. Wait, not 2.2. What did I just grade? 2.3? 2.3 I just graded right here. So go through and look at your feedback and the solutions. So on y'all's papers, if you got things wrong, I pointed like at what things you were doing wrong.
They're not visible on Blackboard.
It doesn't show up?
No, it just shows homework 1, 2.1, 2.5, and 2.6.
So this piece doesn't show up?
Yeah, I couldn't see it either.
It says available.
The key's not attached there.
It is. Click it. If you click it, I just clicked it. It doesn't show up. Try clicking the title.
Whenever I go to turn in and then I hit homework.
It's not the
I can
homework,
see-
it's the homework answer key. We're looking at the answer key. Oh, you mean the homework isn't
There it is.
showing anymore?
Yeah, like
I can see
That's a
2.1.
setting. Yeah, that's a setting that was on there from when it got copied over from from Professor Seaver's previous course. So we have to change it.
And 2.5 and 2.6 keys should be up tonight.
So 2.3 you also can't see, so let me edit that again. So, okay. All right, so now you should be able to see them. Yeah, 2.5 and 2.6 is to do tonight by midnight, but we're gonna post the answer key at midnight so y'all can check yourself if we don't get a chance to grade it before class, because we wanna make sure you have the key to look to see how you're doing before you take the test tomorrow, so that you can kind of check.
Because yesterday night I was looked there for my 2.3, I didn't find it. I don't know why.
Yeah, if that happens, let us know, because these have settings in them from where they were copied from Professor Seaver's previous class. So we have to go in and change those manually.
Do we still have time to go back and fix like 2.1?
Yeah, so remember we were saying this first unit, we're accepting late work, But starting Monday, we're not accepting any late work because that's what the syllabus says. I mean, we were originally only going to do the first week, but since people were still having trouble, we decided that the whole first unit we're accepting late work, but then starting unit 2, starting Monday, we're following the syllabus of no late work accepted because we drop
Okay.
stuff and the keys get posted and all that.
Thank you. And then 2.5 and 2.6 is due tonight, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I was just curious because I did a second attempt on one of the assignments and I didn't know because for some reason it had a 0. I didn't know if it automatically had a 0 or if there's been a chance for it to be regraded. I just submitted it just quite recently.
Yeah, you might want to check because I just graded like a whole ton of stuff.
Okay,
So
perfect.
check it
Thank
out.
you.
Okay.
Excuse me, teacher, did you find my work?
Yeah, like I said, everything is graded right now except for 2.5 and 2.6. So anything you already submitted before class today has been graded except for 2.5 and 2.6.
I did
So
do the
it all should be graded.
like last night.
Miss, are there any homework corrections due tonight?
Yes, that's the 2.3.
2.3?
Yep. Here, maybe we should write on here. So do.
And we did
tonight-
2.2 2 days ago, right? We did 2.2 2 days ago.
Yesterday, last night, 2.2 corrections were due.
Oh, last night?
Yep. Due tonight is 2.5 and 2. Oh, no, not that. Due tonight is the review. Do you have a place for them to turn in the review?
Oh, we're not grading the review.
Oh, we're not turning it in. Okay. So due
Cool,
tonight.
I didn't know the 2.2 or 2.2 was due yesterday. I did not see that. I did not catch that.
Okay, well, this week we're allowing for late submissions, but starting next week we're not. So get that turned in.
That usually never happens. I guess it flew across my head. I didn't hear you.
Oh, yeah, I try to type it out on here so everyone can see it. Kind of the things that
Okay,
are due with
2.3 is due tonight. Okay, and I'll get 2.2 done as soon as possible, and so is 2.7. Okay, I'll get it done.
All right. Any other questions on what's due?
Please, teacher, can I have one of you on the breakout room because they want to talk on private, please?
Okay. Can you
I
set
don't know
that
if
up?
you one is
Or I can
violent.
set it up. Okay.
There's different layers. Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the whiteboard had different layers.
I'll do that. I'll go talk with.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question about the test tomorrow. It's gonna be on Respondus, and are we still gonna come to the Zoom class meeting, or are we gonna?
If you're getting it to work through Respondus, there's no need to come into the classroom. Like you can just take it on Respondus. You don't have to deal with me if you don't want to.
Okay. And I've never used Respondus before, so does it work the same way Zoom does? It's like
there's a trial test you can try out Respondus with the trial test.
Okay.
It's going to require you to do like a camera, have a camera active, and it's going to tell you like point this camera at your desk or something like that, right? It's going to be like, I think you also have to have an ID. You have to have an ID and a camera.
Okay, so I should mess with that tonight before.
Yeah, if you can get it to work good, you can take it through there. I figure most people prefer to have a robot looking at them than to have me just staring them down the entire test. But I mean, I guess it's your own personal preference too. It's going to be a little more like bustly in the classroom, right? There's going to be a little more commotion and it's a little more distracting. For me personally, I would probably prefer Respondus.
Okay.
But if you can't get it to work, we will be in the classroom tomorrow. Don't freak out about like technical stuff not working.
Okay.
All right. Do y'all want to finish these up?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
3x minus 5 is less than or equal to 5x plus 2. How are we finishing this up? There's like one rule we got to kind of really remember when we do inequalities, right? Do you remember
What number
that?
is that?
This is number 16.
Thank you.
you remember the inequality rule? If you multiply or divide by what, you got to do what?
Flip the sign.
Flip the sign. If you multiply or divide by what sort of number?
Negative.
Negative. That's what we're looking for. All right. You can get around that on this one if you do it right, I think. How do you want to do this? What do you want to move? Probably going to move stuff. That's what it looks like. You want to move the 2 over? Yeah. Over here. All right. What is this? 3x minus 7 is equal to 5x. No, woo, not equals. Does this sign stay the same? Yeah. Hopefully. And then
move the 3x. So 3x minus.
Is it? Oh, got to do it the right way. Okay. I did it the wrong way in my head, apparently. Minus 2 give me minus 7. Minus 3 will give me 2. And then
divide by 2.
Yeah, I'm almost there. And then this is what? Minus 7/2. This is an x. What do I do with that sign?
Flip it.
Oh, since we divided the sign flips.
Do I flip the sign?
Wait, no.
I don't? Or do I?
I think
We
you
divided
do.
by
I think
we
so.
divided by a positive, so doesn't
No,
But
yeah,
it's-
you divided by a positive,
it-
so you don't have to flip it.
It stays the same.
We're looking at this right here, right? If that's positive, that thing's going to stay the same. Since this is positive, right, that we're dividing by, it should stay the same. If you move things differently in your problem, you're going to end up with a negative number. You will have to flip it. The other thing, a lot of times they like to lead with the x variable. So if I'm leading with the x, what does that look like? X is yeah, it should be greater than or equal to. So if I do swap my sides, I do have to swap the sign. Questions about this one? So it is very similar to equalities, right? Except there's that one little rule. If we multiply or divide by a negative, swap the sign. Everything else, we still move variables. We still combine like terms, just like it was an equal sign. All right. Next one, 5x minus 3 divided by 7 is less than or equal to minus 2.
Didn't we have to graph it?
Oh shoot, did I not? I didn't graph that. Huh? You're absolutely right. I didn't even put it in the right format. I'm jumping. Where is it at? Okay, so we want to graph it. Is that going right or left? I guess is my question.
Right.
It is going right. So I want to go this way. What about here? Is it open circle, closed circle?
I think it's closed.
You think
Closed.
it's closed?
Okay.
Why is it closed?
Close.
It has an equal.
Greater than or equal to.
Yeah. And then we want to write it in interval notation. So if it's closed, is that like a soft bracket or a hard bracket?
Hard bracket.
It is like a hard bracket. So if you wanted to do a hard bracket, you can do a hard bracket in there. What's the lowest this thing's gonna go?
-7.2.
What's the highest that thing's gonna go?
Infinity.
Infinity.
And
With the soft bracket.
infinity's always got a soft bracket. This one should have a,
Oh, hard bracket.
yeah, I kind of hinted at it, right? But it's got the equal sign. It should have the hard bracket on it. Questions? All right, I think I'm just going to jump to another one here. 5x minus 3/7. And this is less than or equal to -2. Well, that's the first thing I want to do here. Do y'all like fractions that much?
No.
All right, so how do I get rid of that?
Yeah, multiplying by 7.
By 7, right? Same thing here. Heavy snore right there, my dog. All right, so what's on the left side?
So 5x minus 3.
The dreaded question, do I swap the sign?
You flip it because we multiplied. Oh, wait. Multiplied by a positive.
We multiplied by a positive. So I think the thing that really messes people up is they will see a negative on the 2 and they'll be like, we multiplied by, no. The thing that you multiplied was the 7, right? That -2 was already there. We didn't use that. The thing that we used and multiplied by was the 7. So you're looking at the thing that you're actually throwing in there, not the thing that was already there. Since this is positive, let's do multiplying. But since those are positive, the sign stays. What's the next step? I'm almost writing it out for you. What is it?
Divide by 5. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Add 3. I think you did it.
Yeah, I didn't. -11.
Yeah, we're gonna add 3 to both sides. We're gonna divide by 5. I don't have much room, so I'm gonna try to cram it down in here. And then the question is, the same question. Ooh, which way is that sign going?
Stays the same.
Stays the same. The thing that we divided by was a 5. The 5 was positive. I know the 11 is negative, but that's not the thing we threw in there. So I guess I should answer the question that they asked. If this is minus what, 11/5? What does that inequality tell me? Am I going left or right?
Left.
If x is less than, that would be everything to the left. Open circle, closed circle.
Closed, because it's greater than or equal, or less
Yes.
than or equal.
Got the equal to sign on it. Should be closed. and I don't have much room. But if I want to do this in interval notation, I want to write my solution in interval notation. What is the lowest this thing is going to go?
Negative infinity.
What's the highest it's going to go?
Negative 11 over 5
Okay.
with
And
the
then,
hard bracket.
and then now we got to think about, yeah, what kind of brackets do we put? This one would be hard. This one has to be what? Always has to be soft on that.
Parentheses.
Yeah. We're never going to hit infinity. Buzz Lightyear doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. We're not going beyond it. Questions about this one?
In the beginning of the problem, you multiplied by 7 on both sides. Is that because it was like divided by 7?
Yeah, so that got rid of the dividing by 7, right? This is basically what it did. It got rid of our fractions.
Okay.
So anytime you see fractions, think about like, what is the least common multiple there? Well, we only had 7, so the least common multiple of 7 is 7. Multiply everything by 7, you should be able to get rid of your fractions. So I'm always looking for that LCM, multiply by my LCM. If I don't have to deal with fractions, I try to get around it, right? They're not pretty things to deal with. All right, last one I'm going to do. Let's do it. -9 is less than or equal to 1 minus 2x. Ooh, this one's got 3 parts, 2 inequalities. 1 minus 2x. I want to get x by itself. What do I need to mess with? I think that thing first.
1 minus 2x.
So how do I do that? How do I get the x by itself? It's being multiplied by 2, then further out we have this 1 here.
We're doing 18, right?
Do what?
Oh, sorry. We're doing 19?
Yeah, this is part B, I believe.
So I
we
didn't
move
do.
we move the 1.
Yeah, so we're moving the 1. So how do we move the 1? It is subtraction. This is adding and subtracting. We want to subtract 1 there. Guess where else we want to subtract 1?
On the right and on the left.
On the right and on the left. We should be doing it 3 times. Anything we do to one side, we have to do to all sides. So this is very similar to like doing it with 1 inequality, but now we're doing 2 inequalities, 3 sides. This is going to give me what? -10. We're not multiplying or dividing, so I'm going to keep these things the same direction. And what, 3?
Now we divide by -2.
Let's just do it like that. There you go, that's better. Okay, so this, I'm going to do it right quick. This gives me +5. This gives me an x. This gives me a -3/2. I still got to fill out my signs. So what do we know about these signs?
Now you can flip them because you divided by a negative number.
Yeah, these need to get flipped. So this one should have an equal sign on it. This one gets flipped and it does not have an equal sign on it. Now, being honest, if at this point you put this as your solution, I would probably count this correct. But we know that we're going places with this work. So with that in mind, there is maybe a better way to sort of write this. Usually you start least to greatest. So if I start with -3/2 and I put my x and I do less than or equal to 5. So writing this backwards of what it's written there. This is the way that you'll see it in most math textbooks. If you check the back of the book, that's probably what they have written. That is the direction that we should be going in. Questions about this one? This one had the rule in it, didn't it? Multiply or divide by negative, flip the sign. Are y'all ready for the test? I hope so. I get anxious for y'all. I don't know if y'all know that. Probably pretty obvious. I've had to take classes.
Having a little bit of trouble with the wording for the word problems, but I'll work on it tonight.
Okay. Yeah, and then like I
Once
said,
it's like all laid out, it would totally make sense. It just takes me a little bit to get there.
yeah, and the thing is, like, you have to practice it, and like it's better to practice a little bit each day than just to like try to cram stuff in right before a test. And like that's one of the things I really like about this class is that we're in here meeting each day.